In this video, we are going to be looking at the best update items from the new Build-A-Build update that we recently got. We are going to be ranking these items from the worst to the greatest. And make sure you stay tuned for the one at the very end because there's some crazy things you've got to see with it. So make sure you stay tuned and also be sure to like the video and subscribe. Let's not waste any more time and let's hop straight into it. I know I haven't been doing a lot of the comments of the days recently, but we're going to start it back up again. A huge shout out to the comments of the day on screen right now. Thank you so much for the support. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe, and let's hop straight into the first item to go over. Let's do this. And wow, I just noticed that the Halloween update is completely gone from the game now. The items are gone from the shop, and it didn't auto spawn me into nighttime. Goodbye, Halloween update. It was been fun, but now it's time to return to normal Build-A-Build. Also, let me know down below your guys' thoughts on this year's Halloween update. Honestly, I'm pretty happy that they actually updated the game and added some old returning items, and you're able to actually claim candy. Honestly, it was pretty nice. So it was refreshing to see something new inside of the game, and I look forward to the new updates to come. Let me know down below what you guys think. But starting off with probably the worst item on the list, all right, is going to be the candle right here. Now, the candle was added inside of the Halloween update just recently. Inside of the shop, you could actually buy a bunch of these. I recently stocked up on a bunch of these as well. I now have like 86 of them. I know it's not that much, but I mean, it was honestly pretty cool to see this item return because it only like returns during like Halloween and stuff. Pretty spooky looking candle, but nothing crazy. And that's why we're gonna move on to the next item right now. Now, the item that's actually in front of me right now wasn't actually a part of this update, but I'm really surprised that they didn't add this. In front of me is the tree model, which is a tree block inside of the game. Now, this is actually, believe it or not, a Halloween exclusive item that was added inside of a Halloween update long ago. They brought it back last update we had, but this recent one, they never added it. So this item is actually pretty rare to have now, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's actually hop into one that's actually on the list. Moving on to the next item on the list that was actually brought inside of this update is the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern item. Now, this item is obviously another Halloween exclusive block inside of the game that is actually pretty rare, but they did bring it back inside of this update. It's not as rare as the OG original pumpkin right here. This thing is actually one of the rarest Halloween items. In fact, one of the rarest items inside of Build-A-Build history right here. But usually they do bring back the jack-o'-lantern, and that's why I have it ranked on towards the bottom, just because you could buy a bunch of them inside of the shop. They were super cheap, and just recently I bought a bunch of these as well. I now have like 100 of them in total. I know it's not a whole lot, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool little Halloween exclusive item you can stock up on the Halloween updates, and hopefully we'll see it next year. But until then, let's hop straight into the next item. Now, these next items I'm gonna go over, all of them have different abilities, and they're all like ability blocks inside of the game. They're not as boring as the candle or pumpkin or tree block, so let's hop straight into them and stay tuned through the entire video because at the end we go over the best one. Moving on here, we have the yellow candy. Now, the yellow candy was one of the most common candies that you could get inside of this update. You could unlock this by going to the trick-or-treat houses. Now, what this candy does different than any of the other candies is it just makes you run fast. I mean, that's literally it. It's just a candy that makes you run fast. You don't jump high, you don't like row or anything like that. It's literally just a fast ability candy. Now, this next candy that I'm going to show you guys, the purple, is also one of the most common candies inside of the game, or at least part of this update. But one cool thing about the yellow and purple candy here is you can actually combine them together. The purple candy just gives you a giant jump boost just like this. So when you actually equip the yellow and the purple candy together, it pretty much gives you the same effect as the pink candy. So if you weren't lucky enough to claim the pink candy inside of the updates, you could pretty much just use both these at the same time, and it gives you a pretty cool effect of the pink candy. So these two candies right here are definitely the most common candies that you could get from the trick-or-treat houses. But let's move on to one that's just a little bit more rare. And no, I'm not talking about the pink candy. The blue candy actually had a more rare chance of spawning than the purple and yellow. I feel like getting this candy right here was like a 1 in like 20 chance. It could be even more than that, but it was definitely more rare than getting these two. I noticed a lot of comments as well saying that people got like hundreds of houses. They definitely got way less blue candies than they did purple and yellow. So it makes me think that the blue candy was a bit more rare. And what this candy does, it just makes your character shrink. But there's a cool thing with this candy that separates every other candy inside of the game. It's the fact that you can actually customize customize it with the property tool. Other candies don't have any custom properties that you can change, although that would be cool to change the speed you could run. The blue candy is the only one that pretty much has these properties. You can change the shrink scale, shrink head scale, shrink height scale, and the depth to whatever you want, and you can get some really interesting like sizes with this candy here. There's a fun amount you can play around with. Like, you can make yourself a custom head size where your character can be super small but your head can be super big. You can play around with it and find some crazy things. Now, a candy just like this that actually wasn't inside of this update is the red candy. I got a lot of questions about the red candy. Only very few comments of people saying they got this. I actually haven't seen like any solid proof of the red candy being inside of this last update, but the red candy works pretty much the same, except it's the reverse. So this one will actually make you bigger instead of smaller. And yes, once again, the red candy also has a property which you could actually change pretty much the same options as the blue candy. So you can make some pretty interesting you know, character designs with this, so have fun with that. But the candy that was actually the most rare inside of this entire update is the pink candy. Now, the pink candy, as I mentioned earlier, is pretty much just the purple and yellow combined, but inside of one candy. So when you actually equip this, it just instantly makes you run fast and also jump high. Now, I'm actually very curious right now. I have to test this out. I want to see what is actually better, eating the purple and yellow or eating the pink candy. So let's see how high up we actually jump here. So let's scale this up. All right, so I want to try to mark how high my head goes on this thing. So let's scale it right down about there. So that's probably, all right, that's about right. So that right there is with the pink candy. This is the pink candy right here. That's pretty much as high as you can jump. Now let's try it with the purple and yellow combined. I'm honestly very curious to see if the purple and yellow has a better ability to it, but let's find out. Now, also keep in mind, guys, we still have the #1 item on the list. But here we go. Let's go ahead and grab these two. So now we have the purple and yellow combined. Now let's go up to this and see if we go any higher. All right, let's see. And it looks pretty much the same, to be honest. I mean, that's definitely close to the same. Actually, wait, I thought that one looked like I went a little bit higher. It could have just been my body glitching on the block right there, but it looks like they're pretty much the same. And that leads me to the final item on the list, the dragon harpoon. Now, this item right here was only obtainable inside of the shop for Robux. I mean, there was literally no other way to get it inside of the update. Inside of previous Halloween updates, there was ways to get the dragon harpoon for free, but inside of this last update that was added, I mean, there was the only way to get it was from Robux. Now, what actually makes this harpoon stand out from every other harpoon inside of the game is the tracking ability that it has. This is by far the coolest item inside of this update. Although it was for Robux, I mean, I think it's still honestly the best item. But you can see what this one will do is if you actually shoot it at a player, it'll follow them around and then hook into them. So, ow, what the heck? It got me. Oh my goodness. So that harpoon is very awesome. There's tons of glitches you can actually do with it as well. I mean, the terrain moving glitch. I mean, there's so many different glitches to do. I want you guys to go ahead and comment down below your most favorite item from this update and why you like it the best. Be sure to go ahead and like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all inside of the next one. Peace out and goodbye.